Yeah, I forgot about it.
Take your time.
No, I was not late. You talked too much.
I'd like to call to order our regular scheduled meeting of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners is October 24th, 2017. Our first item will be the Pledge of Allegiance given by Mr. Morrow, invocation given by Commissioner Holberg.
If you'll please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Motion made by Mr. Holberg, second by Mr. Morrow. Any questions, comments, admissions?
What about the amendment? Yeah, we got an amendment too. Yeah, budget amendment.
We're getting legal advice.
I don't have a budget amendment.
Do we not have a,
Okay, you've already put it in there.
Which item is it?
Okay.
Move it to the, is it the last one?
it's number 11, right?
All right.
What number is it, Teresa?
It's on the new one. All right, there being no further questions or comments, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 7-0. Our first item tonight will be citizen comments. At this time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Do we have anyone on my left that would like to come before the board? Please come and state your name and address for the records.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Shahir Biyar, 820 Pamela Drive here in Griffin, Georgia. Once again, I come before the board seeking your assistance in installing restrooms in Raymond Head Park. The last meeting I had with the city manager told me that it was up to you as the commissioners. He said the money was there and it's up to you all as the commissioners to make this happen. So I'm coming before you this evening to see if we can at least, this is the fourth or fifth time that I came before this board or the city manager. If nothing else, I think we deserve to get some answers. So I'm before you commissioners asking you tonight, could we, if not tonight, when could we get some answers on restrooms being installed in Raymond Head Park? Don't all y'all answer at once.
I'll answer this. I don't remember that in the budget. So if it's in there, I'm unaware of it.
Well, according to your city manager, it was there, $100,000, I
I didn't
believe.
remember that.
Commissioner Morrow, there is $100,000 for parks in the
For
budget.
parks.
Been approved.
Yes, not specifically for that project, for parks, all right,
It's, yeah, park improvement.
park improvements. I agree with that, yeah.
And the last I checked, that was a park. So, I mean, do I get any response from you commissioners? Any kind of response?
Well, I think the response is we gotta wait for Kenny to present explain something to us. We got options, if there's money in the budget, that's something we can take up, but we're not gonna sit here and tell you, yes, because you're standing here right now at this time, that we're gonna sit there and move forward with a park that we haven't seen a design on, or restrooms that we haven't seen a design or cost estimate on. So
Right.
it's up to staff to bring that to us so that we can evaluate it.
Yes, I
There may be other
understand.
priorities for a park.
Pardon me?
There may be priorities for a park at a different location, a new park somewhere else that's a neighborhood passive park that's there for the citizens, just like that one. So it's not, I mean,
Well,
it's a
they have to
need,
come
but
in and
but a
ask
neighbor-
just like I did. I'm here asking.
I
The
think you're
others,
asking.
nobody else has asked, to my knowledge. You know somebody else that asked?
I know that we're looking for another park on the north side of Griffin.
But I'm saying
But
the,
our pocket parks have not traditionally been designed with a bathroom facility. We've got them at Third Ward, Thomaston Park, we've got Thomas Park. And many
okay.
parks are built to support the neighborhood and the children and the folks there.
I understand that, but has anybody came in and asked specifically for restrooms to be installed?
You've asked for restrooms at this park.
Okay, well-
But we've had other parks that we're looking at.
Well,
in
Mr.
terms of
Holberg,
restrooms.
Commissioner Holberg,
Yes, sir.
all due respect,
Yes, sir.
that's no concern of mine. If they haven't been here to ask about it, then I'm sure there's nothing you can do about it. And I agree, Commissioner McLemore, you're correct. I just been told by the city manager that it was on you. Now you're telling me it's on him, and I understand the process, and I do understand it have to come through him. But it's a shame that I have to keep going through this over and over. Somebody telling me one thing, and then somebody else telling me another, and then Mr. Holberg telling me something that not even in the equation. So
It is in the equation
no,
because it's $100,000.
It's not in the equation because no one has came and asked. I'm here asking.
But other people have asked for parks, not particularly coming before us, but have talked to us
Well,
as
what,
citizens.
Mr. Holberg, there again, that don't have anything to do with it. I mean, anybody can go out in the street and ask you something. I'm saying proper procedures. I'm making the proper
I'll tell
procedure.
you the way I feel. I would not vote for support the restroom in that park because I do not believe restrooms in our little pocket parks are appropriate. They're neighborhood parks. You got homes there. Start putting restrooms in pocket parks.
So you're
to me.
suggesting people use people home for the restroom? That's
Pocket
what, that's
parks
your
are folks in the
suggestion?
neighborhood.
That's your suggestion?
I think
So
pocket
I'm
parks are
praying
for
that this
people
is
in
on the
neighborhood.
records that you're saying that, because that's a mighty pitiful suggestion, Mr. Commissioner Morrow.
I don't know. The pocket parks, the other ones don't have restrooms. Why would this one have restrooms?
First of all of them should have, it's a health hazard. And from my understanding, it's a law. It's not just what you want to do. It's a health hazard, and it's a disgrace that people have to go to the woods to use the restroom.
Does anyone else like to address Mr. Biot?
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay.
Anyone else on my left would like to come and address the board? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Quintella Daniel, and I'm a resident of 417 North 18th Street. And my concern is the restrooms at Raymond Head Park as well. It is a health issue. It's an infection control issue as well. And for you to call it a pocket park, I don't understand that term, and I would like for you to explain it a little more for me, Mr. Morrow.
We have a city park with all the facilities, and we have little neighborhood, what we call pocket parks, neighborhood parks like North Hill Street and over in Third Ward and so on, for those neighborhoods' convenience. None of them have restrooms in any of the neighborhood pocket parks. So, my opinion is, whether you agree or disagree, is that pocket parks are for neighborhood people, and unless you put restrooms in all of them, I wouldn't put them in any of them.
But it's not just about one park, it's about all parks and the health issue with people that have to hold their urine or their bowels because they cannot use the restroom. And if they choose to use the restroom, then expose themselves, they're risking going to the Spalding County Sheriff's Office at 401 Justice Boulevard, and that's an injustice.
I understand what you're saying, but if you put in one, I think we'd put them in all.
Okay, and I'm for all, not just for one, because united we stand, divided we fall. And you all are failing the people and the citizens of the Griffin, Spalding County community. And to me, if I feel as a young person, I'm 29 years old, it does bother me and it affects me as well as other little children, because my very first time going to this park, that beautiful little girl right there, I took her. Then I had to drive 3 miles to let her wash her hands because she had been playing in a dirty park where dogs, cats, raccoons, or any other type of animal, they release their bowels freely because they're animals. We're not animals. Yes, we are mammals, but we're not an animal. We are all human beings. Thank you.
Anyone else on my left like to address the board? Anyone else on my left like to address the board? Anyone on my right like to address the board? Please come forward, state your name. Give me a name and address.
Hello, my name is Tariq Lyons. I think I spoke with you briefly several times.
Yes, sir.
I'm currently at 824 Ellis Street in Griffin, Georgia. I have two concerns. The first one was the one that I spoke with you about the outrageously high utility bills that a majority of a lot of citizens of Griffin have witnessed, ranging from $500 to $700. The last time I checked, the median income or salary of Griffin, of the residents in Griffin, was $36,000. If you break that up to a weekly allowance, that's only $750. So for anyone to be hit with a $700 light bill, you know, that's the statistics say that, you know, most Americans don't even have $1,000 saved. So that could, you know, being hit with a $700 light bill could mean, you know, an eviction for most people. And I just want to get comments, concerns on why that. I don't know if it's the rate or if it's bad electrical wiring in the houses. And if it is bad electrical wiring, are there any regulations on people who own properties to have some type of term limits to when that wiring should be replaced or repaired? I'll let you guys comment or a response.
824 Ellis Street.
824 Ellis Street, right.
I manage that property, so be glad to meet with you after the meeting or this week.
But it's not that just property. I mean, it's concern for my
Well,
sister.
it's a consumption issue. Properties, power rate, my utility bill, I keep my house at 78 degrees. Runs about, the highest bill in the summer is
78?
78 degrees is $300. My parents keep their house at 68 degrees. Their bill's $650 to $700.
So maybe it's the rate.
So you've got to set your thermostat at a level. Every 2 degrees below 78 degrees, you're looking at a 15 to 20% higher utility bill. In the wintertime, every 2 degrees above 68 degrees causes you to have a 15 to 20% higher utility bill. So it's based on the consumption, not the rate. And so, but it could potentially be a water leak that could be raising your rate up.
So maybe it's the. I don't really know if it's consumption. I'm there every day, and because of the high light bills, we keep the lights off. I make sure they're off. And that doesn't, you know, it doesn't, I don't know if it's the wiring, but like I said, this is not the only property. If you go to the Griffin discussion page, there are, you know, countless, and I've told you that there are countless people that have outrageously high on light bills. And like I said, with the median income of Griffin, your citizens cannot afford to be hit with a $700. I don't even know too many businesses that have, you know, small businesses that have that type of light bill. When I was in Stockbridge, I had my, I like the cold, and so I had my AC on 65. I've never seen a light bill that was past 100, never. And I had it at 65. I've never seen a light, I never paid a $100 light bill. My light bill never went above $90, and I kept it at 65 because I love the cold. She doesn't like the cold, so it never is never on 65. It's like 72, 75. And so I don't know if it's the rate and why, you know, why is it that rate?
I'll be glad to sit down with you this week if you'd like. Come by.
Oh, that'll be fine.
And I can look at your bill.
Another thing
Yeah, what's it say?
was the thank you. Another thing was just a concern, or if there's anything in the process about the minimum wage in Griffin. Like, is there you know, any type of increase or any increase coming to the citizens of Griffin?
That's not a matter
No, but-
That's
the
not a
city's
thing.
jurisdiction.
But there are some instances where cities can raise the minimum wage without the state raising the minimum wage.
That's not the case here, sir.
Yeah.
That's not within our local jurisdiction.
Okay,
You have any other concerns, questions?
no, that'll be all.
All right. Let-
Thank you.
If you stay after, and I give you a card as well.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you for coming. Have anyone else on my right like to come forward and address the board? Anyone else on my right? Anyone else on my left? All right, round of applause. Thank you all for coming and voicing your concerns. We don't have any public hearings tonight. We will go to our consent agenda, and we will have to remove item number 4. What about the?
I need to abstain from voting, so if you just do 1 through.
All right, we're gonna do them one at a time. It won't take but a second. On the consent agenda, item number 1, consider minutes of the October 10th, 2017 regular scheduled meeting.
Mr. Chairman. I second if there are no additions or corrections.
We got a motion by Mr. Brock. We got a second by Mr. Morrow. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0, 1 abstention. Ms. Flowers is the abstention. Item number 2, consider approval of the holiday schedule for the calendar year 2018.
I move we approve.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward. Any further questions, comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. It's gonna be 7-0. Item number 3, consider Electric Cities of Georgia, ECG, year-end settlement in the amount of $8,718.82. Direct ECG to distribute the funds to the city's ECG subscription to education, training, and development.
I move we approve.
We got a motion and second. Motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. The 7-0. Item number 4.
Are we gonna, you said something about tabling it or not?
No, I need to abstain from
He just
voting.
Oh, abstain, I got you. Misunderstood.
Item number 4, consider approval of a task order form to Paragon Consulting Group for the engineering and construction management for Community Development Block Grant Meriwether Phase 2 for the city of Griffin in the amount of $118,337.
I move we approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward.
And for disclosure, I've got property in the area that I manage. I don't own anything in the area, but just manage at this time.
Any further comments, questions? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. That'd be 6-0. We got 1 abstention, Mr. Holberg. We'll move now to our regular agenda. Item number 5.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we table item number 5.
We have a motion to table an ordinance amending the city's existing Gmails.
Second,
Plan?
second motion.
All right, we got a motion by Mr. Morrow to table, seconded by Mr. Holberg. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. All right, it'll be 7-0. Moving to item number 6, consider approval of a memorandum of understanding to implement the tax refund intercept program, TRIP, for the Griffin Municipal Court, as well as a resolution appointing a hearing officer to conduct any needed hearings on tax refund intercepts.
I second.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by Mr. Morrow. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor, raise your hand. He's 7-0. Item number 7, consider approval of the probation contract with Judicial Alternatives of Georgia, Inc., JAG.
Mr. Chairman, I've asked Jessica to give me a little briefing. I read the contract and was confused with all the legalese. Ask her to give us a very brief what the changes are.
Okay. We have our current contract with probation with JAG as our current probation provider. The state is requiring us to update any contracts by January 1st in order to bring it into compliance with the new Department of Community Supervision, which now supervises misdemeanor probation. So we had to add a couple. We had to make sure we had a term in there, which we do. It's 5 years. We do have a clause that we can terminate within 30 days' notice for any reason. The pretty much all of the terms of the contract remain the same. Their probation fees remain the same. The one big change that we are making is they will no longer be paying jail fees. They did give us $2,100 a month in jail fees, and they will not be giving that to us anymore. And staff is still recommending approval for that because we have worked with probation to actually decrease our jail costs. So we don't think that that will actually have any kind of negative impact on the budget. It's about $25,000 a year that they would be giving us, but we've reduced our jail costs more than that. So we don't think it'll actually negatively impact us there.
So the other parts are just to bring us in conformance with the new law?
Yes, sir.
Primarily,
Mhm.
okay.
And I did try and redline it, but it's so different that there really wasn't a way to do that based on what we had now. The current contract would expire November of 2018, so next year, but they did have 30 days to be able to, it's an automatic renewal this year, so they did have 30 days that they could have told us they didn't want to do it. Had we not agreed to get rid of the jail costs, they would have given us our 30-day notice, and we would have been sort of stuck without another probation provider. So we were willing to agree to that. And then if we decide we want to have a new probation provider, we can always give them 30 days notice and submit an RFP or do anything else that we want to do in that respect.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the new contract.
I think we already had a motion, a second.
Well, we already had that.
I think we already had that.
No, I don't think so.
I think you made the motion and asked for it.
I think he
so,
just
but-
said that he asked me to come and talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think I made a motion.
Go for it. All right. we
Just in
got-
case,
We got a motion from Mr. Morrow.
I move and remove.
We got a second from Ms. Ward. Senior moments. All in favor signify by raising your hand. All right, that's 7-0.
Thank you.
We can do the video later.
Thank you. Item 8, consider for approval a task order form for the engineering, design, and construction management of the Shoal Creek Headworks to Paragon Consulting Group in the amount of $505,800 for the Water and Wastewater Department. Approve the liquidation of investments in the amount of $500,000 from Morgan Stanley Investment Portfolio and amend the budget accordingly.
I second.
Got a motion from Ms. Ward, a second by Mr. Morrow. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 7-0. Item number 9, consider approval of the bid and work contract for the upgrade and demolition of old plant at Cabin Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant to PF Moon and Company, Inc. in the amount of $11,908,000 for the Water and Wastewater Department of the Public Works and Utilities Department.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Holbert, second by Mr. Morrow. Any questions or comments, concerns? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 7-0. Item number 10, consider denial of a purported anti-litem notice pursuant to OCGA Section 36-33-5 from Brian Young as set forth in letter of August 7, 2017, from his attorney, John P. Webb, arising out of a traffic accident on April 8, 2017, involving Griffin Police Officer Duane Dorset.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the denial so this can move to resolution.
Second the motion.
We got a motion by Mr. Morrow, a second by Mr. Holberg. All in favor signify by raising your hand. And we got one voting nay. McCord is the long dissension. Item number 11, consider denial of purported anti-litem notice pursuant to OCGA Section 36-33-5 from Frank Edward Carr Sr. and Frank Edward Carr Jr. as set forth in letter dated May 15, 2016, hand-delivered to City Hall on September 13, 2017, arising out of traffic accident on April 8, 2017, involving Griffin Police Officer Duane Dorset.
Mr. Chairman, I also move we approve this denial.
Second.
We got a motion by Mr. Morrow, a second by Mr. Holberg to approve denial. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. And any opposed? We got one opposed, that would be McCord opposing it. Item number 12, consider authorizing Mayor McCord to attend the 2017 MEAG Mayor Summit at Lake Oconee, November 10th through 12th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We got a motion by Mr. Holbert, second by Mr. McLemore. Any questions or comments?
Goodbye.
Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. 7-0. Item number 13, consider approval to pay $396,749.90 to the Registry of the Court per court order under Civil Action File 14V-463 should that be, I guess it's SLB, and amend the budget accordingly. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, will reimburse 90% of the total cost. The remaining 10% falls to the city 5% and Spalding County 5%.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
Question. So this has been settled, resolved, or is this a,
That's the payoff,
so it's done?
yes. It will be
Okay.
done.
Okay.
All right, we got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Mr. Brock. Any further questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Any opposed? Be 7-0. All right. This time we'll go to our city manager report. Dr. Keller?
There's nothing at this time, sir.
I have none.
Downtown trick-or-treating is next Tuesday night, 4 to 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So look forward to seeing everybody out there for that downtown council event.
Nothing? Mr. Brock?
The dinner that they had, I think it was Saturday night on Solomon Street, was a wonderful success, and we need more of it.
All right.
It was an awesome event.
It was good,
Mr.
very good.
Anything else? Is that all?
That's all.
Okay. Mr. Morrow?
Two things. You know, I missed the last meeting, first time in a long, long time, for the American Culinary Federation accreditation meeting at Southern Crescent. I'm proud to say the Southern Crescent passed with flying colors. They found absolutely no deficiencies. In fact, quite the opposite. They were immensely impressed with our program, and they were particularly impressed that a mayor came and supported the program. So thank you, Mayor McCord. They said they'd never had a mayor come out and support accreditation before, and they thought that was awesome, and I agreed.
He made me go out there.
And this opens the door for our young people in this community to get a culinary arts degree for about $6,000 for 2 years. The private culinary arts schools, the same training, the same accreditation, nothing better, costs $60,000 to $80,000 a year. So this is a value, it's an extraordinary with this accreditation, and we got to be very proud of Southern Crescent and that staff. Secondly, I want to give a shout out, and kudos to Spalding County to pursue the pickleball facility. I know there are a lot of naysayers and grumps out there that make fun of this because of the name, but I've been out and played a couple, 3 times learning, and it's a lot of fun and great exercise. And I took my wife out for the tournament this weekend, Saturday. She'd never seen it. The 2 tournaments back-to-back have 600 players from all over, representing 26 states. 26 states coming to Griffin, Georgia. And I walked around through the parking lot, and I saw license plates from Texas, several of them, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, all over. And I'm going, this is awesome. These folks are coming to Little Griffin, Georgia for a world-class pickleball facility and bringing money.
Exactly.
So the county's done a real, created a real
If I
asset
can
for our
just
community.
comment on that, I was in Canada last week at a conference. A guy from Mississippi came up to me, another attorney. He saw my name tag, said Griffin, Georgia. He says, "You've got one of the nicest pickleball facilities I've ever been to." I was blown away. He said the only thing missing was a decent hotel to sleep in while he was here.
Yeah, we need more better hotel space, but that will follow. It's the, you gotta have the market and then you can do it. But With 600 people from 26 states coming to Griffin, Georgia, I just think that's absolutely incredible. And I give the county a lot of credit for pursuing this.
Drew, it's funny you say that I met with the DDA, new DDA director yesterday, day before, Monday and Tuesday. And she had a active party who is an investor, came to Griffin, Georgia today to meet with her to buy the old 4-story hotel that Woody Heath owns now. So progress is there, and we need those kind of places. And we need a civic center like we need anything else in this town, really and truly. So maybe that's the start, sir. And I hope it happens.
Ms. Ward?
I had an occasion to visit the city park a couple of weeks ago. And my suggestion to us, our board, is if we have $100,000 for park and recreation, that we consider doing something with the bathroom in City Park. It is terrible.
We got 2 bathrooms, right?
Do we hear an amen?
Yeah,
Is that-
Outside bathroom.
Been there.
At the bottom
At
where
the bottom.
the children play outside. That's my suggestion. If we have money for parks, that's the bathroom that we should be, restroom that we should be concerned about.
I think that makes good sense.
Is that all? Thank you all for not taking up the ones that I wanted to talk about, so I can say it first. Oh man, I got 3 good things to talk about, and I'll start off with the roundabout on the north side of town. It is a complete asset. It is beautiful. I was touched by Ms. Ward and her sister about growing up in that community and seeing some of the tax dollars go to that side of town, and it really improved that community 100%, and it looks great. I think one of the residents there said the only thing missing is some benches just to sit and just, I mean, it is, the green space is just so nice. It's a beautiful addition. I rode down there just to do a U-turn the other day because it looks so good.
Friday night, there was an accident. Or Monday.
There was an accident on Hill Street. The accidents will happen. That's why they call
You
it
caused
accident. No, it wasn't me. Last Sunday, I had an opportunity as being the mayor of this board to present one of our former residents, the key to the city of Griffin, Mr. Arthur Blank. And upon the first thing he said, he brought me down on the field. The first thing came out of his mouth was, I need to get to Griffin. My wife lives in Brooks. I want to get to Griffin. I want you to show me around and see what's going on in Griffin. And there is a lot going on in Griffin. And with his philanthropic efforts, maybe there's something that, he can help us out with here in Griffin. So the plan is to get him down soon as his schedule allows him to get here. He will be here. I've been in contact with him after Sunday. Made another visit with him on Friday. So we are in the works of trying to make something happen here in our community. And kudos to Mr. Blanks for getting his groundwork started right here in Griffin. And if he can do it, then maybe one of you can become a billionaire. Third thing, this Sunday at Rising Star, during the 11 o'clock service, we will be honoring Ms. Janet Harmon Bragg. Ms. Janet Harmon Bragg is also a native of Griffin. She is the first African-American commercial airline pilot. And we got a pilot on deck here with us. And she was born right here in Griffin, Georgia. And if Ms. Bragg, who was born here in Griffin, Georgia, can leave here and aspire and become a pilot in a time when there was no one else like her in the world, in the United States, then it can inspire some of our young people, be they African-American, Caucasian, whatever their nationality, that other places, the big cities don't hold all the success that you can get your start in a place just like Griffin, the town that we love. So that is all that I have tonight. I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by